Hi there. This is a shout out to everybody who's on what I call a fad diet. This is hilarious. I want you to tell me what diet you do that you would preach from the rooftops about. So I was on Facebook the other day and I have deliberately collected people from all over the world, and I love it, right? Because I love everybody's different opinions and their lifestyles and how they see the world. So I've got a collection of gurus and these are all people who profess to know everything, and they're almost godlike. And if you say anything to them, they will insist that you're wrong and they're right. So these are a couple of the people I'm going to talk about. I won't mention the names, even though they're on a public platform. I won't mention the names. But one guy is a breatharian, and the other one is a vegan, but more fruitarian. But anyway, I've got a collection of people. So I've got the breatharian, the vegan, the Atkins, then we've got the intermittent faster, we've got the woman who says you've got to drink salt water all day because you need to hydrate the cells in the body, and then I've got another person on there who says you should not have salt, and then I've got another one who's a carnivore who doesn't eat anything but meat, and then I've got another one who only eats raw meat and that's it. So there's a good collection there, but I'm going to focus on the breatharian guy because he's the one that gets to me most, because I can't get my head around it. If any of you do this, please tell me if you're being totally honest, because my head will not go around this one more than the others, because at least the others are ingesting something into the body and putting something in the mouth, and I just feel that the body needs something in it. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't mind. This is just my opinion. But the breatharian guy put pictures up of himself when he was 52 years old, and he looked fine, but he said he felt lethargic and overweight. So he decided one day, he just woke up and said, I just feel different inside, like I feel like my body doesn't need food. And he said, I didn't go straight into it because that would be dangerous, because you've got to train into it. So going back, this is about 10 years ago, he said he started this. What he did is he started doing intermittent fasting. So I think he said he started off doing 12 hours a day with no food, and then he increased it after a week to 18 hours with no food, and then a few weeks in it went down to 22 hours a day of no food. So he got down to an eating window of 2 hours a day, and then after a few weeks he stopped. So no more food. So he was still drinking water, and he was drinking a lot of water. So he said that the first few weeks I was drinking the normal amount, and then I was drinking the normal amount until I stopped the food, and then I started pulling back on the water. So we work in pints here, how I do. So say he was having 8 pints of water a day when he first started, and then he got down to like 4, then 2, then 1, then half a pint, and then he just stopped the water. And by that point, that was months. That took him a few months. He said, and then when I got to that point, that's when I had a crash for a few days, and he said, and I felt really ill. So he said, I advise no one to do any physical exercise while you're doing this fast. You've got to do it slow. But then after he'd done that and got over the initial reaction, he said his body went into this other place and he became super fit and super strong and super healthy. And he's put pictures up of himself and he's quite muscular, and he says he does bodybuilding, but he's a breatharian. So people are obviously asking questions on there, and he has a support group, and he does this thing that you have to join it. So if you want to ask some questions, you have to join his group and pay, and then he will answer it in the group. But there's a lot of people like me watching what he's saying and then reacting. And one of the biggest things is, if you can live without food and water and not put anything into your body at all, not even a drip, just nothing, no fluids at all ever, then how come you don't die of starvation? And he said the answer to that is in my book and in my group. So that gives me a red flag. And then the other one was, how come we have anorexia and people die from that? And how come people die around the world from starvation? How come they, without food, they're not all thriving like you and they're not working out? And so sometimes he will kind of answer a question, but it's only very vaguely. But then he gets annoyed with you for saying it, and he'll say, if you want to know the full story, it's a protocol you have to follow, and so you have to start on level 1 and work up, which I understand. But you've got to look at it from our point of view, at you, when we're sat here saying, I can't even imagine not putting anything in my mouth at all. The other question that I had for him was, do you go to the toilet? Because if you that's just a waste system, isn't it? So whatever you put in your mouth will come out some way or another. So do you go to the bathroom? How does your body sustain the weight? How does it keep its systems going? And I want to know how it works. So somebody else said, if it's breatharianism, does that mean you're just breathing? And he said, no, it's not the actual air, like as in the oxygen that we breathe, because they have to do like meditations as well. It's all like a tantric thing, a yogic thing, I don't know what you call it, but it's all about breath work as well. But he said you're not breathing in oxygen per se, it's like the prana from the air. But it's all up here, and you've got to have a strong mind to do this. But I can't get my head around it, and I cannot believe him. And even though he insists he does not touch anything, he hasn't done for years, I still can't get my head around it. I don't believe no one who does that. So if you are a breatharian, please answer those basic questions on how do you thrive while other people die of hunger if you're not putting anything in you, and do you go to the bathroom, and how does your body work? How do you not dehydrate? What about if it's a blistering hot day? You know, I get dehydration if I'm out working in the hot sun, and I have to drink loads and loads of water. But they're saying you don't need nothing. So I want the answers to this, because everybody who's got a belief system can't think outside of it. They just get trapped in it, and a belief system can go into any area. But on this food thing, this belief that you don't need to ingest anything into your body at all, and you don't need any vitamins or minerals because your body just does it itself. I can't get my head around that. So if you are one, please let me know. If you know somebody who is, do you believe that they are? Have you seen that they really are legitimate? Because I just don't believe no one who says it, and I don't like calling people liars, but I don't believe that you can go years without food and water. I just don't. So let me know what you think. I might go back on that guy's page and say I'm talking about you on there and stuff, and he'll say, well, if you want the answer, come and pay. I think it's something like, I don't know, $49 a week or a month or something like that, and it gives you a plan of action on how to do it. But I just can't get my head around it. But let me know what you think anyway.